Cool. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in to Lions League Call of Duty for our second season. Tonight, you can see the game in front of you. We've got the Adjutant General's Corps versus the Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineers, where the first round's going to be obviously hard point, much like last season, and we're going to be on Ramaza as well. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting match. We got some Army eSports players in here in terms of Moxie God. Not a too different lineup from the previous season. So we got Shiloh as the captain, Richie, Lecky, Weaver, and Moxie God. Like I said, captain in the Remy team is going to be Enzy Hype. He'll be supported by Dima, Eat My Pan, Sugster, and Rydog. So a couple of changes there from last season. So it should be interesting. I haven't got the maps up just yet. My camera's frozen. Right, stand by. Apparently my camera's frozen. It wouldn't be a Lions League stream if we didn't have some form of technical issue. I'll tell you what we do. I can solve this. There we go. Might have to recrop that, Alex, quite possibly. Oh, there you go. That's an absolute awful picture. But yeah, I'm going to be your caster for tonight anyway, whilst we just figure out these technical issues. The guys are in the lobby and almost ready to start the game now. It will follow the same format as usual, so we'll have a hard point match followed by search and destroy, then domination, and then back into the second round of hard point and search and destroy if necessary. Where it's going to be slightly different this season is if you reach a score of 3, the game will end, as opposed to playing the full 5 games. Now, I can see that they're just loaded into the game now. Now, remembering hard point number 1 on this map in Ramaza is located up on the bridged area. Then it's a short rotation to the back of the map for hard point number 2. Quite a long transition from hard point number 2 to hard point number 3 at the opposite end of the map. 4 then sees it inside the warehouse, which is adjacent to hard point 1. And then 5 is inside these archway buildings, which in theory you should be able to see at the moment. We're going to follow this now as we're on board with Lecky from the AGC team. He's operating at the bottom of the map, just looking for people who are trying to outflank round to get towards the bridge. He's taken out by Sugster, getting his first elimination of the match. So we're with Deems now on the point, accruing points, 17 to 0 at the moment in favour of the Remy team. And relatively unopposed. Looking on the mini-map down there in the bottom left-hand side of the corner, you can see the AGC have just now started approaching onto the point. There's only 22 seconds left here to contest it, so there's going to be a bit of a lead for the Remy team going into hard point number 2. Looking there now, I can see a player from each team has moved in and it's under AGC control. So we've got 5 seconds to switch. Rydog on a 5 streak at the moment. Unfortunate there for Eat My Pan. Full damage is what eliminates him. You hate to see that, but it does happen occasionally. As we're on board now with Richie, who's on the point. Trophy system is down. As Moxie God takes on a 5 streak now, so players able to build up a decent amount of kills in these early stages. As we see, it's all becoming a bit chaotic on this hard point. There's 30 seconds remaining, so we're halfway through. The lead still remaining for the Remy team, contesting it, try and prevent points being accrued. At the moment, nobody's earning anything. I believe. Yeah, no, it's just coming under Remy control now. As we are with Rydog. Just protecting that rear entrance there. I suspect now, looking at the mini-map, yep, the AGC team have all transitioned there. So he'll collect the final couple of points as we go live on hard point number 3. So this is the one where if you don't get the transition right, you won't earn a lot of points. Eat my pants just outside the door. The AGC team getting a decent spawn right outside the hard point at the moment, so that's favouring them at the moment. The Remy team spawning within the archways. 26-34 your score. On board with Shiloh, the team kept in. 11-3 for Rydog at the moment. I think probably the elimination leader, but you don't get any points for eliminations in this game mode. As NT Hype gets a couple of eliminations there. 12 seconds left as we move on to hard point number 4, and this will be inside the building. As we see just to the right hand side of Shiloh here. He'll take out NT Pan and get eliminated himself. Fast, frantic stuff at the moment from both teams. Trying to get a good start in the game. We see inevitably teams that start well in the first game, 2-10 do quite well. You get a late surge, but obviously if you're only going to 3 matches now potentially, if a team goes 3-0 up, then that's where the game ends. There's no opportunity to get any pride back. Only play first to 3. See Moxie God, 11 for 10 at the moment, so decent kill to death ratio. As we see AGC getting a lot of points off of this. Sugster gets taken out, another one for Moxie God. But then Dima returns the favour. Remy on the point. Trophy system is down, I suspect. Looking down onto the mini map. No, they're gonna try and contest this. As Moxie God with 5 seconds left is pushed onto the point. Now into the archway, hard point number 5. See Weaver's on it. He's just getting the rest of his team arriving now. 1, 2, 3. 4 AGC players getting onto the point. As NZ Hype working the mid ground. He's going to come on fire from Lecky here. Or it's Eat My Pant who gets eliminated. And Weaver now spawned the opposite end of the map. He's got the opportunity to catch the Remy guys by surprise. As he takes advantage of the change in spawn locations. The Remy now spawning to what is the east side of the map as you look at it. They're in blue, in case you didn't know. AGC are in red. Moxie God is a Slayer, watch out. So here we are with Rydog, 20 for 6. Now, I've seen Rydog play quite a bit recently. And he's going to be a major addition for the Remy side this season. As they look to put together their first win. Not coming up with a win in Lions League Season 1. AGC taking, I think, 1 win from the first season. And 1 very close match against the Artillery, which I think they missed out 3 matches to 2. As Weaver takes out Eat My Pan and is then taken out by Sugster. You have moved back to hard point 1 now, which is again over the bridge. As this is almost a really tight game at the moment. The AGC have done well to pull back what was a 50 to 60 point deficit at one point. Eat My Pant gets deleted by Moxie God and someone else firing from above. Rydog trying to peek the corner and gets the heal him. Takes his belt buckle. I think everyone's going to have evacuated the point now. He'll be the last one on it as we see. No one's really on the point at the moment. Contested between Richie and what was Eat My Pant. As the AGC players now pile onto it. We can see number 8, Lecky, is playing the mid-ground as we switch to him now. Looking to pick up players trying to come through that main avenue down the middle of the map. As Rydog fired through 2 people there, Moxie God and Weaver. It's all just got a little bit chaotic at the moment. See, points now. The AGC have taken the lead. So that's them. They now leapfrog the Remy team as it's 150. It's going to be about even now. 150 to 150. As Eat My Pant gets eliminated by Moxie God again. Moxie God with a quick fire double on him and Sugster. And he gets Sugster again just for good measure before being taken out by Rydog. It's really interesting at the moment as the hard point has now switched. Hard point 3. This is normally the point in the game where it's kind of almost over. In the games that I've commentated for the Remy team anyway. But it's so close at the moment. I think we might go through 2 full rotations. Possibly back to hard point 1 again for a third time. As here we go, under dispute. Team captain Enzy Hype. His projectiles taken out by the trophy system. Team captain Shiloh takes out the Remy team captain. So it's really, really close here. Still 178, 174. Let's see if we've got anyone moving. So yes, the AGC have totally nailed this in terms of the rotation because they are already there. As we see, Lecky's there. Number 9 is Weaver, who's just outside the point. Number 7, Richie, here he is downstairs, occupying that stairwell comes from above. Rydog is kind of caught in a sticky situation here with 2 people focused on him. Grenade goes in, no good. Trophy system is down. Needs to go in and get eliminated there from Richie, who was in the corner. And again, we're about to draw level 195 to 195, so this is insanely close. Absolutely insanely close as we look for the next hard point. So no one's looking to rotate early to try and secure it with 20 seconds left. Don't think anyway. So we've just seen Dima and Eat My Pan have now gone for it as Weaver comes in. 7 seconds left as Remy catch up with Enzy Hype. The last few seconds on the hard point before we switch now. So this is going to be an absolute hard point. It could be won and lost here. We got 3 Remy players on it. We've got every single AGC player closing in. As the point deficit is only 10 and there's only 25 points left to win the game for the Remy side. Suggs are looking to cover the open ground. Let me see now if I can quickly sort out the camera. 231 to 113, and we may make it onto another hard point, quite possibly. Let me see if I can close that. There we go. Okay, we're on board with Mossy God, no Weaver, as they look to move to the next hard point. Remy guys capturing the last few points on this hard point as we get to hard point number 1. So we've managed 2 full rotations and we're back to the bridge. 243 to 219. Still time for this to go in favour of the AGC, possibly under the right conditions. No. So there we switching back to me. Okay. Do you want me to switch my camera back? Let's see. Okay. So I'm just waiting for the scores to come up there. As we see, Enzy Hype 42 eliminations, 18 seconds. Who was the high scorer? 2 minutes 13 for Dima on the point and 2 minutes 10 for Richie from the AGC. So they're the ones that you care about. The amount of time occupied on the point for hard point, obviously. So good start from both teams. Really, really good. We switch out 250 to 219 is the final score. Now, you have to bear with me for a second. Just to recap as well, if you missed last week's game, that was a 3-1 victory in favour of the Royal Artillery over the Royal Armour Corps. So the Armour Corps made their debut in Lions League Season 2, and from what I saw, played really, really well, and all the games were quite close. So extremely good start for them. So just to recap, Artillery sit top of the table with 2 points. The only team having played the game, a game, and the Royal Armour Corps, and this will be the second game in the series. Okay, so just have a look. Remy from Swatherpants in the chat. Obvious who he's cheering for. And Night Fury saying unlucky AGC. Very true. Insanely close game as we go into Search and Destroy. And like I mentioned before, Jumping Jim is obviously a fan of Moxie God and thinks he's a bit of a slayer, and probably the reason why he's on the Army eSports Call of Duty team. So really good on that point. So I'm just going to try and find at the moment, because I've got 1,001 things open at the moment, what the next map is, or I might be able to see it being set up on game. Search and Destroy in Piccadilly is the next game, as they're just readying up now. Okay, so we know how this works by now. Search and Destroy teams are going to alternate, taking turns to plant and defend the bomb. And we're just waiting to see who's going to go first to plant the bomb. So it's the blue team, which I believe is Remy in this case. Now, I'm trying to see who has picked up the bomb. It's a little bit of an unfamiliar view. So, bomb carrier. I'm not sure if it's been picked up, to be honest. I didn't hear... here we go. Number 4. So, Spuds is in possession of the bomb. You see Weaver in the archways, opposing him. Lecky's in the open ground. He's taken out by... Oh, it is Weaver who managed to get the shot through the archways. So, it is 5-4 at the moment. 5-3 as Ride Dog gets taken out by the exploding ambulance, I think it was, from Moxie God. Weaver just sat inside here. He knows probably it's a B push, and he's going to drop NC Hype as well, and he has eyes on the bomb. 2 on 4 as it's left with Deems and Eat My Pant to pull it out the bag here. They're going to struggle, I think, barring some form of upset. I suspect it will come now, and it has. Yeah, my camera's toast. It just leaves Deems to try and push through. He's got the bomb. Don't think he's going to have time. Most likely. No, that's going to be all she wrote. So, AGC taking the first round. Let's see if I can't reset this. So now, like I mentioned, it will be AGC to attempt to plant, and the Remy team will be defending. Now, I'm trying to remember from last time if AGC had a consistent bomb carrier. We have seen them in quite a few scrims. The moment Weaver's got the bomb, I suspect not. I suspect it's just the first man to it, gets it. What I did remember from the last time, though, is that the AGC team was, well, I was about to say very keen for an early plant on A, seemed to be their habit, but taken out by an incoming projectile was Weaver, Lecky now, and Richard. And Moxie God remaining. Eat My Pant eliminated early. So who's this? We're with NZ Hype. He's got a nice angle here. Whether he's been told by his teammates that the bomb is down at A and literally on the A point, I'm not sure. You'd hope that sort of thing would be communicated. And Lecky, I'm in an R in whether to go in for it or not. You can see here, he knows somebody's got to be in there. Just, does he go? Rydog has got the middle covered. And Dean's just round the far end of the map now. Lecky planting, and I don't think he can be seen. Bomb is planted at A. So, where is Moxie God? So, they are all in vicinity. Moxie God is behind the blue buses. Here we go. You can see him on his belt buckle. Looking for anyone trying to come in behind, which I think Rydog's going to be tempted to do. And I think he's probably going to walk into this one. See, Enzi's firing from above. And they've got to push. Sooner or later, they've got to push. As there goes the smoke. But still no push. 10 seconds remaining. And I think we're going to go to 2-0 for the AGC here. As he gets an elimination for his troubles, but the bomb will detonate. And that'll go to 2-0. So AGC opening up a decent lead early on. Obviously, what you normally think of search and destroy when you play it in public matches, obviously you rotate through 3 attacks, 3 defends. So going 3-0 up isn't necessarily, you know, a massive issue because the map may be, you know, better suited to defenders or better suited to attackers. Obviously, that's not the case with teams taking turn here. As we see who we got, NZ Hype goes for the early snipe, doesn't get it. As Sugster has again got the bomb, and again it looks like a bit of a B push. Personally, if I was them, I wouldn't be looking at B, especially after what happened last time. It looked like we've had a really good spot set up. As we see Rydog's taken out, but as is Shiloh, team captain for the AGC. Richie's going for NZ Hype's position as the bomb is being placed. Now he's just got to make sure he doesn't get dropped here. Does Mr. Bradders or Sugster, as he's known in game. Grenade's going to go in. He's going to be in trouble here. Gets away with it. Goes on the run as Moxie goes chasing, and there you go from the Army eSports player. Quick fire there. So this is going to leave NZ to try and deal with it himself. And I don't think he's going to have the chance. Oh, he's so very close. And I know I'm biased on that one. But you would have loved to see that quick scope. Just to take Lecky out and give them a little bit more time. But here you go. 3-0 as it goes to the AGC. Now, in the last match these two teams played, which was a scrim last week, I believe AGC took both of the search and destroy games. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone who was playing in that game or who knows any different. As we are with Suggs, who's got a set of Cali sticks on. Not going to help him right now because I think he's going to get dropped by Moxie God. And he doesn't know, so the bomb is down. And as long as Brad identifies where the bomb is, then he can call that out to his teammates. Looking at the map, number 1, NZ Hype isn't moving. As Rydog now stepping up to the plate. He's kind of gone missing thus far in this search and destroy game. As he comes under fire from Richie, and it's 3-on-2. NZ needs to move. He does. He gets the elimination on Richie. That's going to leave Lecky all by himself to get eaten up by Rydog, I think it was. And yes, Neil Swatherpants, you are correct. The Readme team do hate this map. To the point that they despise me every time I put in a training list. So there you go. But they pulled one back. So, you know, all is not lost. Even if it's just to see this go to a few more rounds. There we go. As I've finally fixed my face camera. Not that anyone wants to see my face, but there you go. It's an available option. As we see, who's that? Shiloh taken out by, or Eat My Pant taken out by Shiloh, I believe. As it is just now NZ Hype and Rydog left. But it's 3-on-2. Just probably got to bide their time here, not do anything too hasty. There's 50 seconds left on the clock. They're dug in at A, so B is an option. Don't think they realise that. Although NZ's moving now. Shiloh is covering that kind of position. And dead silence is on, so Shiloh's not going to hear that. And B is all his if he wants it. But 27 seconds left. And he's going to get taken out here. Is NZ Hype, I think. He doesn't realise Shiloh's there. He's going to get taken out as he comes around the corner, leaving Brydog all by himself in the arcade to pull something off. Gets an elimination for his troubles on Moxie God, but it is this is going to finish and take it at 4-1 in favour of the AGC team. Right, so let's see what the AGC team are going to do. Are they going to play hyper aggressive and push fast on A? I'm watching now as Shiloh's in possession of the bomb, and they're already on A and planting. Someone's arrived, who is NZ Hype. Quick fire double. There is someone down there planting the bomb, but I don't think he realised. As he gets a third, Weaver, Moxie God, and Lecky. There's a triple feed he gets there. Richard is the last player getting heavily tagged up on that scaffolding and is eventually taken out. So 4-2. All is not lost yet. Was it NZ Hype who managed to get that final elimination? So taking 4 of the 5 players out from the AGC on that round. Meaning, try and keep an eye on what the kill death ratios are at the moment. Must admit I've not been paying attention. So Eat My Pant 3-4 at the moment. As he goes forward with a knife, weapon of choice, pushing very quickly down towards B. Not sure how that's going to work out for him. It's a very bold strategy. He's on board with Suggs. He's 1 for 5 at the moment, but his job in the team is very clear. He's got the bomb. And it's his job to plant. Now, Moxie's seen him. Moxie God has seen him. But it's 3 on 3. Rydog going underneath now. So I was about to say, is Moxie God tempted to go underneath? And he's going to get dropped by Rydog. Or Eat My Pant managed to steal that. Getting Lecky and Moxie God. So that leaves Richie. As Eat My Pant and Rydog now closing in. And that's going to be all she wrote. Back to 4-3 now, so a 1-point deficit. I think the AGC, after a couple of early kills, are going to be maybe kicking themselves a little bit for that one. So I'm kind of seeing a relative split in the chat of support. So let's keep it going, people. Moxie God has the bomb. Which we see they think, yeah, heavy push on A again. Pushing through and beyond. Not really any opposition, as that's bizarre. So from the Remy perspective, they've seen the AGC's inclined to push A, and they've all kind of covered B. I think Suggs is going to get tagged up. Must have the EOD perk on. And just deciding what to do. Not rushing too much this time. Although if there was any time to push and rush onto point A, from the AGC perspective, it was that time. Because it was completely undefended. Just seeing now NT Hype staying on B. There's 3 on 3 now. But Brad almost getting taken out, saved by Eat My Pant as Weaver goes down. Suggs picks up an elimination on Lecky, leaving Richie as the last player again. He's going to get shot off on Eat My Pant. But there you go. I think Suggs got the final elimination there as we get back to 4-all. No, it was ND Hype transitioning from point B. There you go. I was not expecting that comeback at 4-1 down. I really was not expecting that comeback. So, we're going to be in for an interesting final 3 rounds here. If it goes to the final 3 rounds. So let's look at how they split. So the Remy team have split fairly evenly, but so have the AGC, which is odd from a... in fact, have I got this round the wrong way? I have. So it's the Remy team as the attacking side that have split. And the AGC have done the same. It leaves only NZ Hype and Eat My Pant left against Shiloh, Richie, Lecky, and Weaver. Heavy on B, it looks like at the moment. NZ probably just weighing up what he wants to do. I think Eat My Pants just seen Shiloh here. He has, and he's got the elimination. Now thinking possibly about going for the bomb. 50-50 decision. Go for team or go for bomb. Sorry, go for squad wipe or go for bomb. As NZ takes out another one, that leaves just Lecky left. They've got 22 seconds to find him and eliminate him. Now, I can't see on the map. Yes, I can. Where is he? So he's up by the scaffolding. He is edges round the side. All he needs to do is survive. Oh no, the bomb's been planted. So now he needs to defuse. He's going to get NZ Hype, is he? No. NZ Hype gets him. Making it 5-4. What a turnaround. I mean, absolute insane turnaround. As we got a team that was 4-1 down at one stage and were not looking comfortable with this map whatsoever. Now turning it around to 5-4. Okay, so AGC need this round to stay in the game. Remy can afford to lose this one. Won't want to though. Going to the final game is not what you want. As I didn't spot who picked up the bomb, but it is number 6, Shiloh. So that has been a level of consistency in the past couple of rounds. Shiloh has picked up the bomb. Team captain sort of leading from the front. Brad didn't see Shiloh go past. Shiloh gets taken out, and that's an awful place to drop the bomb. Right out in the open ground, and playing it very, very carefully now are the AGC, knowing they can't afford really get men deficit. It's 4-all now. Quick elimination from Moxie God, and Lecky's taken out by Enzi. Does he see him? Does he know he's there? Does he know anyone's there? Doesn't get a chance to find out. Enzi takes another one. Kill death ratio of 18-4. So obviously someone offended Enzi, and he's taking out his frustrations on, well, everyone. As Weaver gets Eat My Pant taken out of the game. However, sat there and waiting was Enzi, I think. So we look for the final elimination. As there it is, confirmed. Enzi Hype gets the final elimination, and Remy take game number 2, Search and Destroy 6-4, giving them a 2-0 lead in this series thus far. So just a quick scan of the scores. Enzi Hype 19-4, and Moxie God 10-9. It's the highest from the AGC team. So really interesting stuff on that one, and it sounds really cliche to say, but that was 5 unreturned games from the Remy team. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they took the first game, AGC then took 4, and then they took the next 5. So it swung from one extreme to the other, and that's going to be a bitter pill to swallow for the AGC. Especially with how well they were playing. They were absolutely dominating that. The Remy team didn't have anywhere to go, whether it was on defend or whether it is on attack. They had every point perfectly covered. Their quick pushes to A, they couldn't be stopped. But they stopped pushing quick to A, which to me is really, really odd. I'm not entirely sure why they did that, because it was working. And I'm very much a believer of you shouldn't change a winning formula. especially on a map that, you know, I personally know that the Remy hate. But hey ho, there you go. That's the end of the second game. We go into the third one with the AGC needing to win this in order to take the game on. And it will be domination on Hackney Yard. Now, again, I think this personally is an absolutely horrible map. I dislike this map for domination so much. You almost get suckered in to defending your point too much. And if the other team are really good at switching the spawns, taking the opposite end of the map, you can almost lose track of going for point B. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play this. I've seen this game before between these two sides, and hopefully, from a Remy perspective, they should have learned from their mistakes because AGC have taken it every time previously. Now we're just waiting to see if they're readying up now. I think they are ready. There's obviously no substitutions being made. Let's jump back at the chat and have a little look there. No, just a little bit in there. What happened there, AGC from Jumping Jim? Thought you had it in the bag. Well, we all did, Jim. We all thought they had it in the bag there. Really, really bizarre. I don't know whether it is a change of tactics. Obviously, you watch the game and you think, right, okay, why have they stopped doing that? But unless you're in the team, you don't know. May have been part of the game plan. Try and keep things varied. As we're just loading in now. So come on then, if you're watching in the chat, 17 people I see, put your predictions out. I'd like to see what way you think this is going to go. Team Remy has the preferential spawn, in my opinion, in terms of pushing A to B. It's probably easier than C to B to start with. Obviously, this will change for the second half. And Dean's down there early doors, and he goes a little do-si-do round the transit van. Secures point B under the cover of smoke. Home points have been taken, so as we often see on Lions League games, well, yeah, I'd say often, people forgetting to secure their spawn before moving on. Secure it fully. As Enzy Height on point B, Moxie God as well. Looking to see whether we've switched over on the live feed. Am I commentating to just a blank screen? I'm not sure. We are switched. Okay, it's just me being ridiculous. Okay, so early scores. Obviously, a bit too early as NZ opens up a 5 streak already to kind of take anything from them. As here we go. Here's that switch that I was on about from AGC as Ride Dog's forced to come back to point A now to secure it and start earning points off it again. He's going to be in danger here. Just about has enough left in the clip. As you can see, he's got that 50-round mag fitted. Has now all 3 points almost under Remy control. Just off now on point B at the moment. A and C. Remy have done exactly what they've been guilty of getting caught for before, which was losing their point and not noticing it, their home point. As Eat My Pan appears to be the person that's just intent on causing chaos. As he gets another elimination there on Richie, I think it was. Yes, it was. And Weaver goes as well, and Shiloh goes as well. NZ Hype taking both of those, as it is domination here at the moment. Rydog's on a 5 killing spree, and this is not an AGC domination performance that I've seen before. Hopefully, they should be able to kind of get a foothold in the game. Don't imagine. Look at the time, 2 minutes 40 at the moment. It's in leads of 50 to 60 overturned before or dropped, depending on your side of the fence that you sit on. So at the moment, the lead's not unassailable. See, ND Hype, who's 12 for 1 at the moment, generally being a horrible human being to everyone in the lobby. So he's going to switch round now and look to come at point A. Shiloh's going to have to be careful because he's going to come up from behind him if he's not careful. Going upstairs, he can hear the footsteps. He should. He pops out the window but gets taken out. And I don't know whether they've upped their tactics on this from the Remy side, because they've been guilty of running around like headless chickens in some games before. However, this seems like they have a very meaningful pattern to their play. Trying to see from the AGC side of things how they're looking to push on to point B. They've got it at the moment. Behind the door is Shiloh. He gets the elimination on Dima. See, covering the high ground now. Rydog. Was that Rydog? No, NZ Hype. Take a quick fire double. That'll add to his tally again. On the point was... I'm trying to see the names in the chat. Weaver taking point B. Sucked up above there. See, now AGC have got a couple of points. Trying to get some points back. That gap is closing. 35 points now it is. As Weaver, important takedown there of NT Hype and of Dima again. Push through. Take another one off Suggs. And another one. Quickfire 4 as he takes out Rydog. And he's actually... I can see what he's thinking there. He's thinking, does he want to push through and go out hunting, as you know, people naturally want to do? But he needs to stay disciplined here. He's closing. Beams is going to get taken out by him. Suggs goes down as well, but Eat My Pant finally getting the elimination. But all that while, we will focus on point B. Didn't even notice that Remy had taken point A. So they go in with a lead of 29 points. Not as much as what they want. However, not as much as it could have been from an AGC perspective. So Jumping Jim, all 3 flags. Yes. It's not very often you see that in Lions League, and Swathers, I don't know where the new graphic is. Hasn't been released yet. Okay, off we go. AGC looking to close 29-point deficit. And see, ND Hype's 16 for 6. He opens up one more, but doesn't manage to build a streak. AGC have taken the point early. Now they're going to need to keep it for about 30 odd seconds there or thereabouts to kind of comfortably close that gap, because what they don't really want is to start getting panicky towards the end of the game. If they start having a panic, then they will make mistakes, as you see from every team. When you're under pressure, you need to score points, kind of force the issue. As I think this is going to go as a Remy point, and it has done. The Eat My Pants taken out. Shiloh's going to try and disrupt their hold on point B. Point C has been lost from the Remy team. They're not earning points off of that, and that will be a saving grace to the AGC at the moment. So Suggs operating in the mid grounds, taken out by Lecky. Or Moxie God, sorry. I think it's just a matter of calming down. Whichever team approaches this in the calmest manner will probably come through and win it. Because the point differential is now 23 points. So 3 Remy players pushing on a point B. And from above, death from above, comes Richard and Weaver. As Rydog now looking to stamp his authority in the game, and we're just looking. So the score is coming down, but it's not coming down as fast as I think the AGC would like it. So it's 22 points at the moment, but there is still 3 minutes left in the game. NZ gets on a 4 multi-kill. So he gets tagged up there, I think, by number 6 is Shiloh, team captain. Team captain on team captain. NZ goes down from Weaver, playing the mid ground. So certainly normally in a domination match, you'll have one person defending your own point, 3 people probably playing to try and hold or secure B, and then someone playing random mid ground to try and disrupt enemy movement, try and pick up anyone trying to sneak around behind, or perhaps even to switch the spawn point. As Deems get the elimination there. But on this particular map, it's quite hard to play that tactic in terms of just picking people up in the mid ground. See, Moxie God and Lecky are trying to push round on point A as they've been taken out by Rydog. Rydog's the person protecting A for the Remy side, and in a domination condition at the moment, AGC trying to take back point C. I completely missed that again. Not expecting it. And that level of it's cliche to say, but that level of domination or a game of domination. But I think you get what I mean. Heavy push now coming in from the AGC side. Rydog's no longer protecting the home spawn. That's left to Suggs, although he's abandoned his post. And we're looking at, I think it's Lucky going around to push point A. So in possession of point C, and now looking to grab point A are the AGC, and they are doing it. B remains under Remy control. Eat My Pants going to come around the corner. Lecky kind of running for his life, not getting far. But B is unprotected. So there's an opportunity here for the AGC as their Remy team is distracted. Team captain Shiloh checking his corners. He's going to get taken out here though. Or is he? No. Manages to get off quick fire on Dima. However, I think, without wanting to spoil it, I think this is going to be all she wrote for this game. Unfortunately. 14 seconds remaining. Yeah. Short of getting back. And they've got it back. They've got back all 3 points, but time's run out on them. So I think the Remy team just take a bit of a breather. As you can see, NT-Hype stopping. And they'll be happy at that. And that's the end of the second game in Lions League Season 2 as it finishes 178 on 143 on domination. And Remy take a 3-0 win to secure their first points of Lions League, either Season 1 or Season 2. So just having a look, NT-Hype 38 for 13 is how he closes out the game, followed by Rydog 30 for 11. And then AGC picking up 20 there with Weaver as their highest scorer. So that's where we end it, ladies and gents. I don't think anyone predicted that. I know certainly from watching the teams play before, they've always been close games. So I don't think anyone saw that margin coming, and especially based upon the Remy performance in Lions League last season, which was scattered at best, that's a win of that margin is a little bit of an upset. And I think AGC will be disappointed, especially from the second search and destroy game, where I think they would have felt they had it in the bag to bring back against that loss on hardpoint. So unfortunate for the AGC's team. Well done to the Remy side. A very effective performance there. And well played both teams. So, not a lot else to say apart from that. They'll go joint top of the league with the Royal Artillery. And yeah, that'll be it. Is that us finished? Okay, so next game that you can look forward to is the Infantry versus the Royal Signals, which will be on July 16th at 7:30 p.m. So be sure to join us for that one. It's going to be a good one, and we'll see you again next time.